How do you get in control quick? I'd say body in motion, and I don't care what it is, man. If you need to go walk up and down your street, that's fine. 6 minutes, get control of your mind. Mental clarity, meditation. I don't care, you can pick a word. Take your mind out of the chaos.
Psoriasis on the back of my scalp, P&J, neck issues, rheumatoid fingers. I didn't know for years was the gut connection. And once I did a food sensitivity test to show me my immune system does not like all these quote unquote healthy foods, I developed a food allergy list this long. 90% of the foods on this planet.
Everything, like lettuce.
Lettuce!
Yeah,
Yes,
lettuce.
Lettuce doesn't even have calories. Like I said, me getting desperate, forced to find answers, even outside of the medicine that I knew, is what ultimately saved me.
There's a path out, and the path out is starting to gain control of the things you can gain control of. All right.
Yeah, but if we could, like you said,
I don't know how well this mic works. I'm gonna just hold it or
it's going
leave it
right?
attached. Yeah. You know, as I'm scrolling through all the different people out there doing this kind of stuff, whether it's chiropractors or MDs or just rando off the street people, we hear a lot of buzzwords. Are you bloated? Are you fatigued? Do you have anxiety? Are you depressed? Do you have autoimmune disease? Do you have Hashimoto's? I think there's a lot of positive things out there, and people are finally kind of getting it, saying, hey, let's focus on root cause. I've got a special guest here. Let's focus on root cause, and really we're distracted by this damn dog. We got Jason's carnivore crap up here in the
I better get this steak juice
carnivore
box off the floor. Here we go. Carnivore showed up in full carnivore mode.
This is what happens when you just leave the studio door open. Everyone's invited, including the dog. I think there's a lot of well-intended people out there, but again, our goal, as we talked about, is how can we reduce the confusion? How can we be a good steward of people's health? We're not saying like, hey, we're your guys, stop seeing your doctors, we're saying we're here to augment that journey. So whether you're listening to people online or you're, questioning what you're getting through your current medical team or whatever it is you're doing, or if you're doing nothing yet because you're really focused on prevention, that's where we want to be, is we want to insert ourselves right in there to say, like, let's take a more critical look at your labs. Let's take a more critical look at root cause. Let's take a more critical look at all the different things that you're doing, and then try to fill your mind up with the questions you should be asking, what you should be questioning.
Yep.
All of those things that I think are going to be key to getting down to root cause. So all that to say that what we want to focus on, or what we're talking about today, is not letting the charade of what's up front derail you from getting down to root cause. And what you hear a lot of, buzz about out there is right. I mean, inflammation down to the cellular level, something's not right, far below the symptoms that you're feeling, that's manifesting in one thing, multiple things, all over the place. So, starting to peel back the layers of that onion to say, okay, why am I having autoimmune condition X? Or why is my brain so foggy? Or why am I exhausted every day? Or whatever the particular symptom might be. So our goal today is like, how do we critically think about that, and what questions should we be asking? We're working on a way for you to be able to do that. So you'll be able to go to primalpath.health. And our goal is to have a really in-depth questionnaire to take you through, basically get out of your mind what we need to hear. And sometimes you just need to be prompted with all the right questions so that you can paint the right picture. So we can paint the right picture and go, okay, we can see exactly where we need to spend some energy. Here are next steps. Here are some of those things we should absolutely be doing. And it's the same things we do for ourselves. I mean, we go through our own assessments to say, where are we at today? Where, is it mentally driven? Is it, so lots of stuff coming. But today we'll try to uncover some of that stuff. And then here in the very near future, you'll have the ability to just go to the site and do an assessment yourself, run through it and see if you've got warning signs or if there's something more that you should be you should be looking for. So I don't know what your opinion is on all the stuff in the space, but I see, like, you know, because we're in it, so we look at it. So then the algorithm's just feeding it to us, probably like a lot of you guys. It's just feeding.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, holy cow, what do I do with all this crap? Like, there's so much coming my way.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I mean, hit the nail on the head. The way I look at it now, after having gone through it myself, and I know how symptom chasing is something that can bog you down, because you get a new symptom, or you get rid of one and now this new one pops up, and so it's hard to, it's just like whack-a-mole. You know, you hit one and it's gone, and all of a sudden you got this new one, bam, bam, bam. Before you know it, you like, why will it not stop? A lot of times it's because we're not treating the real problem. We're just chasing symptoms. Now, the way I look at it now is through, you know, our just life experience, through our health. We've had to go through some health issues, our medical knowledge, also just from 15 plus years of being a pharmacist and talking with sick people and getting and hearing directly from them. I know the struggles that different people are going through. They're not the same. And so to me, it's almost like if you walked up to a jungle and your goal was to get to the other side, but you don't know what's inside there. There's going to be all kinds of stuff in there. But if you had a good guide that could get you from here all the way across, if you did it by yourself, you'd probably be able to make it and navigate it. But it might get hairy and scary and dangerous, and who knows what's going to happen in there. But when you have a good guide that's been here and been there and can guide you through there, that's essentially what we'll do, is try to streamline that. And a lot of times in the beginning, we'll simplify by eliminating things instead of adding new things on. So that's a key thing, is it kind of takes some of the pressure off, kind of makes it easy to get started. And then you can have, you know, you can trust in us that we've been there before and we'll navigate it. And listen, your entrance to the jungle may be a different spot than someone with a different disease, but they're still going into the jungle, and you've got to navigate through it to get to the other side. And so, to me, that's what we're here for, is to eliminate that path, to show you where the root causes sometimes lie instead of the symptoms, where to look when we talk about cellular health versus just popping a pill and thinking it's going to fix everything. That's the difference here. You know, you need an approach that is tried and true and that works, and that's where you can rely on us, is to help guide you through.
So I think the thing I would do is take whatever disease or symptom you think the ailment is that you're dealing with, and then try to go do a little deep research much further behind what the definition of that disease is. Mm-hmm. If it's anxiety, if it's Hashimoto's, if it's Sjogren's syndrome, whatever the disease state is, you know what's happening. So like if it's Sjogren's syndrome and you've got, you know, degradation of your salivary glands and your lacrimal glands, and your body's basically, you're inflamed and it's chewing these things up, and your saliva is going away and the tear production is going away. That's the progression of the disease. But then the question is okay, if we go one layer back, what's on fire that's causing your body to go attack that so hard? Like, what is it that's rapidly progressing that thing down this disease pathway, which we know a lot of modern medicine will tell you, this is the pathway, this is what's going to happen to you. Like, if you don't start, you know, med X, Y, and Z today to calm your immune system down, this is what's going to happen to you.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But instead of us going, hey, let's just go knock the immune system down, there's a strong possibility you can go a level before that and say, how can we just get the immune system to stop overreacting?
Why is it doing
shutting
it to begin with?
Yeah, why is it doing it?
It thinks it's doing a good thing.
Yeah, it's good. Your body's there designed to do good for you.
Exactly.
So there's something there that's infiltrated the system that has now tricked your system into doing things that don't help you.
Absolutely.
And now you're in trouble, and now things are not looking good because of the good pieces of your body are really good, but if you point them at the wrong area, they're going to be really good at effing you up.
Yeah, it's friendly fire.
Really good. Yeah. So they will go and tear you up, and they'll make sure they do the best job of that possible.
Relentless.
And they
Yes.
won't stop because they are designed to be relentless, to keep you alive. And
It
now,
thinks right. It
now
thinks
we
it's
have-
keeping you
yeah.
alive when it's actually
killing you.
attacking you.
It's killing you.
Right.
So going a level back and saying, okay, what's on fire and how can I inhibit the fire, which will then tell the watchdogs, like, chill out, the threat's gone. There's no need to come over here. What's happening now is they're like, let's put a fence up around the guard dogs. Let's put a strong fence and shock them when they get close, and let's just knock them down, knock them down, knock them down. You need those guard dogs. I mean, once you knock those down, then now you're susceptible to anything else that wants to infiltrate your system, your body. So it comes in, and now those watchdogs are chained up, and you're susceptible. Start wreaking havoc, whether it's pneumonia or COVID or, I mean, you name not what not having a good immune system means for you. This comes from personal experience, whether mine's was a mimicry of because of some viral infection or it's true autoimmunity that started the issue. My dry mouth and my dry eyes were for real. I mean, I was in, New Orleans for a conference and mouth was painful. Eyes were so dry. I was using eye drops like nobody's business. I mean, and I'm in New Orleans, so it's not like, oh, you just had an environmental change and you're dried out because you were in the desert. No, I'm in a place that's like 100% humidity all day, every day. If anything, I should be good.
The opposite, right?
Be the opposite. And so I knew something was wrong, something was happening, and it was very close to a little bout of shingles that I had. I'm pretty sure something viral triggered, whether, again, I never let it get inflamed enough, so I don't have any definitive test that says, oh, you've got autoimmunity.
Right.
For sure.
Exactly. That's the confusing part here.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing with the shingles thing is that's one possibility, but also, as we know, anybody who's ever had chicken pox, or even if you nowadays, if you're lucky enough to not have to get it, but you can get the vaccine, it lies dormant within your system. Every single person who's ever had chicken pox has shingles lying dormant within.
Yeah.
It's in you, and when it rears its ugly head, it's usually because of a dip in your immune system. Yep. And then it rears its ugly head and it's right in your nerves. It's super painful. Yep. We deal with it all the time at the pharmacy. And so it could be a dip in immunity, which caused that to come. And then afterwards, boom, now your immune system's hyperactive and it gets confused and it might start attacking something it shouldn't be attacking. It can create antibodies against the wrong thing. I mean, there's a lot of science behind that now. Like in my case, I didn't have the dry mouth and the Sjogren's. Mine was systemic. Mine was basically it was head to toe. I had it all the way from psoriasis on the back of my scalp and other parts of my body. I had TMJ. I had neck issues. I had rheumatoid fingers. I had my whole spine and all the way down to my ankles. My ankles used to swell like softballs every day. What I didn't know for years was the gut connection. And what eventually, after a long time and a bunch of trials and tribulations, I figured, once I did a food sensitivity test to show me that my body, my immune system, does not like all these healthy, quote unquote healthy foods. And what would happen if I ate them is I had leaky gut, there's no doubt about it. And so what would happen is I'd eat this healthy food, could have been a salad, could have been whatever. It gets into my gut. Well, what happens is those food particles, they pass through that leaky gut. There's basically holes in your gut that food particles and bacteria should not be able to ever cross if it's functioning properly. But when you have leaky gut, they do. And when they do, they get into your bloodstream. They get into your bloodstream and your immune system does what? What it's supposed to do. That food, those bacteria are not supposed to be there, but they are. And so when they see them, boom, they send the cavalry, they send the troops, they identify what it looks like, they make antibodies against specifically that. And so what happened to me? I developed a food allergy list this long, 90% of the foods on this planet.
I remember everything, like lettuce.
Lettuce. Yes,
lettuce was on the list.
And I mean, all kinds of veggies, lettuce, spinach, avocado, walnuts, almonds, any sort of legume, peanuts, cashews. I mean, by the time I got through with this list, I was in total disbelief because lettuce doesn't even have calories. How could it be bad for me? And the day before I got the results on this test, I was eating healthy. I literally ordered, or my wife brought me a salad for lunch, and it had spinach, it had lettuce, it had some avocado, it had walnuts, it had some various other things, I think some sun-dried tomatoes or something, and then it had grilled salmon on there as the protein. And that was the day before I got these results. And when I finally get these results and I picked myself up off the floor, I go through and I'm like, okay, based what I just had yesterday, which was a healthy meal. I mean, that sounds pretty healthy, right? Everything except for the salmon was no. I couldn't have it. And I would have never known that had I not done a diagnostic thing to help me see that and understand, wait. He can eat this and he's going to thrive. I eat it and I am swollen and dying and mental fog and chronic fatigue and psoriasis and rheumatoid, and it goes on and on and on. So what worked for me was getting to the root cause, was helping to give the gut a break. I had to do a massive elimination diet. And that was when I finally started getting some results. I felt the healing happening from the inside. I felt the inflammation. My fingers, the rheumatoid went away. The psoriasis on my arms and back of my neck went away. The TMJ, the neck pain, all the stuff went away. But here's the thing. I'm not 100% cured. I know how to keep it in check with that and I've got a stack of things that I do. But if I go back and I try to eat those problematic foods, I've tried to reintroduce them multiple times. It's still a no-go for me. So there's still some healing yet to be done, and I'm still on that. I'm still on that journey. I will not sit here and say that I'm not.
Yeah, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because it's not like you get that list and then all of a sudden it's, hey, from now to the day you die.
Right.
This list is, you're screwed.
No.
You can have salmon, beef, and water. Enjoy life.
Right.
But what it is telling you is exactly what you said, is you opened up some doors that shouldn't have been opened.
Bingo.
And you got to close them, and they don't close overnight.
Well, and when you don't know that that's the cause, and all of a sudden you wake up every day and you're more swollen and it's worse and you got new symptoms and it's getting dire, and you think you're doing everything right and you're getting worse. But when you finally find the thing, when you find the root cause, which is a big deal, and sometimes it's hard to find that root cause, but when you find that, the source of the fire, the source of where it all started, that's when the results show up. And it showed up without medicine.
Yeah, so let's be clear here and let's be real, because there's a lot of people going through this.
Right.
That's a 15-year journey, 12, some in that path, okay?
Yeah.
And it manifested in ways that you attacked to the best of your knowledge. I've been down the same road.
Yep.
Something starts jacking up your mouth, your jaw, your whatever it is. So you go to the dentist. And then the dentist is a specialist in dental things. And the dentist tries to fix the dentist problem.
There you go.
And then the dentist problem becomes the neck problem.
There you go.
And then the neck problem is no longer the dentist's problem, because it's out of their realm. And so now you're looking for the next person.
Yep.
So you end up at ortho, or you end up at whoever you think that next best. Well, now you've entered their silo. So now you've got a hammer looking for a nail so it can go smash the nail. And then it moves. And now all of a sudden you go, oh, it's my joints. It wasn't ortho. I actually think this is rheumatoid. I need to go see a rheumatologist.
Yep.
Now, let's not even get into the waiting time between each of these freaking specialties.
Oh, it could be months and months just to get in.
Yeah. So
and you're getting worse every day.
You're getting worse every day.
Yes.
It's manifesting in different ways, and then you're going, Jesus Christ, what do I have going on now? Like, my hands
You wake up and there's a new thing.
There's a new thing.
Yeah.
And
what do you think that does to your mental health?
Exactly. So I haven't even gotten there yet. So now we've been to 3 specialists. And to coordinate those 3 specialists, guess what with our medical system? You got to go back to your primary care doctor between each of these to get the referral to be seen by the next specialty. Yep. And the dentist didn't call and consult with the ortho. The ortho didn't call and consult with the rheumatologist. The primary care might get labs from these 3 if they're actually doing their job, or if they have time to do their job, quite frankly, and have to decipher where should you be.
Right.
And now we're months in. Let's say this is 6 months, 8 months, 12 months in. No root cause. You're chasing a ghost. You got a ghost just in the house, and you're chasing it around. You're not really sure where the hell the ghost is, what it looks like, what kind of trap is going to get it. There's just a ghost in the house. And you're trying to coordinate all this care. It's frustrating. It's scary. You're taking the advice. So now you go from a recommendation to potentially go fuse a spine together to prevent catastrophic paralysis, being too weak in your spine or whatever it might be. And I know you got your story. I'm just, as an outsider, I know there's a lot of people going through this, and it's like, Then you go to the rheumatologist and they're like, yeah, you are on fire. Let's go run your labs. Let's take a look. And then they say, yeah, your ANA and all these inflammatory factors are off the charts.
Or they're not. Or they're not. I mean, like, because I was the guy they weren't. Yeah. But I was physically, you could see swollen. You could see psoriasis. You could see physical problems wrong with me. My labs are clean as a whistle. Well, nothing more frustrating.
But they're still going to go down the path they
they're still going to treat it exactly as if they were positive.
They're going to write the script for monoclonal antibody.
Well, yeah, they're going to work their way up
the cascade. To the cascade. It ultimately ends there.
Yep.
Ultimately ends there. You go all the way up to something like an Enbrel or, name the laundry list of them that are out there now. Yep. We're not big pharma conspiracy theorists, all that kind of stuff, but there still is a frustration to go, okay, I got to be on something for the rest of my life that's thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. Thousands. Every month.
Per month, right.
Per month. To calm down the system in my body that's supposed to be working for me.
And let's not even get into the side effects and the risks that those bring on. They're not risk-free. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Not even close. They're very dangerous.
Yeah.
So in all of this, in all of these great people, you haven't even started to go, why did it start here and then move here? And then why did it go into my hands? And now why is it manifesting as skin rashes and swollen ankles? And in the midst of all this, now you're going through the worst of the worst, which is mental anxiety, stress, depression.
You hit it.
And now you're on fire.
Right. And I want to take just a second to address a term here, and that's the word inflammation, because I think different people think about it differently. But to me, through dealing with a whole bunch of it throughout the last 15 years, I've learned a lot from inflammation. And let's just put it this way. There's good inflammation, there's bad inflammation. Good inflammation would be, if you cut yourself, if you burned yourself, if a bee stings you, if something happens, an acute injury or an acute thing, your body sends, it's going to swell up. It's going to recruit some things there to hopefully keep it from getting infected, to bring white blood cells, red blood cells, bring all the healing power to that. So it's going to swell up. It's going to be painful. It's going to be puffy, whatever. Give it a couple of days. Guess what? It's way better, and it's healing, and your skin, you actually have the body to heal. You have the ability, the body has the ability to heal itself almost in a miraculous way, and that's good inflammation. You want that. So you don't ever want to get rid of that. The bad inflammation is when you get something that's chronic. Something gets in you, and there's a whole bunch of different things. We'll go through a laundry list of those at some point. But let's just say there's triggers that can trigger the chronic inflammation. And essentially what they do is it turns on a switch. It turns on there's like a fire, basically, and it's only going to spread. It's only going to spread because it activates your immune system. The immune system sends the troops to fight it, and they basically just pour gas on the fire. And so what happens is it turns into, it's almost like if your house was on fire, but it couldn't burn all the way down. It's just on fire. Well, the way that a bunch of the traditional medicine approaches would treat your house being on fire, instead of calling the fire department and dousing it with water, which would put the fire out, they want to come in and try to suck some of the smoke off, or put a big fan on it and blow some of the heat away, or try to do something to not actually address the fire. The fire keeps going, and so what happens is, like you said, is you go and you fix, if your symptom was, like in my case, TMJ was one of the first things. I was only going after this, not asking what caused that. And shortly after getting some relief from this, all of a sudden I had 5 more symptoms. I had cervical pain, I had hand issues, I had skin issues, I had the rashes, I had psoriasis, I had swelling, I had brain fog, I had gut issues, I had a whole bunch of stuff, and I didn't understand. They were all coming from that same thing, from that fire that wasn't being addressed. And like he said, once you start getting one symptom, you go to this doctor. They do what they can and maybe get you a little bit of relief with that. And then you got this new symptom pops up. Oh, now I got to go to a neurologist. Now I need to go to a gastroenterologist. Now I need to go to an endocrinologist. Now I need to go to a rheumatologist. I need to go to a podiatrist. And it goes on, and this circus goes on and on and on, and it's because, like I said, it's 99% of the time it's because there's chronic inflammation that is not being addressed, and your immune system is now activated. It's turned on, just as if you just got like the flu, and it's going to war trying to kill the flu. Well, you want your immune system to do that war, but when it's attacking you, which is the definition of autoimmune, it's attacking you and doesn't know it. You've got to survive the onslaught that's coming from the immune system every day, which is the fire.
But that's the point I was getting to there. So, right. I mean, everything that you listed was months and not years. It was years and years of doctor visits to chase this thing, and the house is burning. So eventually the house will burn down.
It will burn down.
It will be gone.
Yes.
It will be ashes. You will die.
Yes.
So it's a slow burn. It's just...
But it's absolutely a burn.
It's going from room to room.
And that's why it spreads.
Yeah.
Yep, new symptoms, right.
But the thing I want to address, because I think it gets overlooked in all this, because again, you go to like, oh, this thing is got me, or it's this thing gets pulled in to all of this. Yep. And I would consider myself a mentally strong human being. But it gets pulled in. Even then, it will pull you in. When you have health conditions that feel out of control, then the health anxiety starts. And then you tend to cling to other things with your health anxiety. So for me, my dad with ALS, every symptom is ALS. Like I'm
bingo
nerve twitching, and
you have a valid reason.
And I have
your brain's going to jump there, right?
And your brain goes, and then that's a different episode for a different day. But I mean, I spent 2 or 3 months convinced I'm gone. Like, how do I spend time with my kids?
Right.
How do I get the most out of this? How am I going to unwind all this business stuff that I've done so that my family's taken care of? Yeah. I'm laying in my bed thinking this is, one of my last few years to spend. Like, I was there, man. All the symptoms were just like, check the box. Right. And I'm like, how? I'm in my 40s. Yeah. Like, how?
Yeah, I don't care how mentally strong. I don't care what foundation. That thing's going to crumble when you're under that pressure.
And so now you've got not only all the work stress and life stress that I let
and you just got to keep doing that. Yeah, right.
Then I have a newborn who's born right in the midst of all this.
So more sleep deprivation.
So now I can't sleep. My mind's on fire. I'm looking at a little 3-year-old girl, thinking, man, what if you don't have your dad in 2 or 3 years? Right. It starts to fuck you up.
Yeah, it does. 100%.
It starts to fuck you up.
And I've got mine wasn't his symptoms, but I had a scare just like that with the cervical thing got so bad. I'm just going to briefly mention, just so that you can hear my story. C1 and C2, my cervical pain had just gotten through the roof, and I refused to take any sort of, I didn't want to be on opiates or painkillers just because what I've seen from my side of the viewpoint as a pharmacist, it doesn't fix the problem. Again, it dulls the pain, but now they're addictive. The pain's still there. You got to be on it, and it's never really gone. So I didn't want that. Eventually, after doing multiple MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, all this, finally it showed up one day, and they said, you have significant erosion. We've referred you to a neurosurgeon. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I mean, that's the first time I've heard that. So I go see him. And this is when the news got pretty dire. This is when it got my attention. This is like my rock bottom, I should say. He goes, yeah, they're right. You do have significant erosion on C1 and C2, which are the 2 highest vertebrae on your entire spine. It's where your skull connects to your spine. And it controls all your range of motion up, down, left, right. Well, I go, okay, what do we do? He goes, well, that's where there's a problem. He said, normally if it's lower down, we can go into a nerve block. And if that helps and it takes the pain away and you get your range of motion and all that, then we can go in and do an ablation and kill that nerve and it helps. He said, but in your case, the problem is at C1 and C2, there's no nerve branches coming off. It's just the main nerve coming out of the brain stem. We can't ablate that. So even if I did a nerve block and it worked, it's worthless. We can't do anything. And I'm like, okay, so then what do we do? He goes, well, there's really, the only other option is a terrible option. He said, it's surgery. We'll go in, we'll have to cut in, we'll do a lot of collateral damage. We'll fuse several of those together. I guarantee you will lose 90% range of motion up, down, left, and right. So my head would have been like this, basically. I wouldn't be able to turn it or anything, you know. Obviously I can, so this story has a happy ending. But he goes, normally what happens is the body, whenever it gets under this pressure, is those joints will naturally try to fuse. Like they kind of go together and just, now they're not two, they come together. He said, but in your case, it's weird, they're eroding. They're wearing down. They're getting real brittle, basically, was the words he was saying. He said, you know, absolutely no roughhousing, no basketball, no wrestling, no, you know, don't get rear-ended in your car. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, he said, because if you do, those two joints are so brittle that one could fracture. And he said, just like a paraplegic and a quadriplegic, it's determined whether it's all your legs and your arms or just your legs by where it happens on the spine. When you go to C1 and C2, he said the problem is C3 controls your respiration. Long story short, I wouldn't be able to breathe if that happened. So the death scare immediately. At this point, I've got 3 small kids. I'm the main provider for, my entire family. I've done everything humanly possible that I can do to get answers for my condition. I've gone all the way to the Mayo Clinic. I've listened to all my doctors. I've been super compliant. I understood the medicine because I'm a pharmacist, so I understood all of that. And to me, it was very sound. What they were trying to do made sense. Problem was, it didn't work, and now I'm staring down the barrel of death. At some point, you have to just take a stand and go, wait, this isn't working. I have to find answers, and now I'm desperate. Now I'm willing to do whatever it would take. And what I normally say is, if you would have told me to drink vinegar, to stand on my head and drink vinegar through my nose 3 times a day, I would have done it with a smile on my face. I got to that point after that conversation. And I will say, me getting to that point changed me on a fundamental level, to the core of who I am. It changed me, really put things into perspective. I'm not guaranteed to live that ripe old age at 80 or 90 or 100 or whatever. I might not even be here next year for my kids. I need to start cherishing every day. I need to do nothing else matters now. My health is what matters the most. Money doesn't matter. Material things don't matter. Nothing matters if I can't regain my health so that I can be the dad, the husband, the friend, the business partner that I know I am. But without your health, you don't have that. Yeah. And it gets very scary. And like he said, the mental aspect is what will destroy you. Because you can't stop thinking about it. Think about it. If someone told you you're going to die, or you have a high chance to die. It consumes. It runs, it's front and center, and it changes your perspective on everything. Yeah. Ultimately, it was a good thing for me because that, like I said, me getting desperate and me being forced to find answers, even outside of the medicine that I knew, outside of where I thought the answers would be, opening up those doors is what ultimately saved me.
And there's a lot of people who are in that right now. So that's the light I want to shine, is there's a path out, and the path out is starting to gain control of the things you can gain control of. So as we try to pull our time in today to make it make sense, is to get in control of the things you can get in control of. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to cure everything, but I would bet a lot of money the fundamentals, going in and attacking the fundamentals, no matter what the disease state is going to put you in a more equipped position to win, to fix your mindset, to start to get in control of your day. Mm-hmm. And as you get in control, even if it's the first hour, getting in control of the first hour, then the second hour, then the third hour, and then the day, and then the week, your mind will be the difference between winning and losing, healing and not healing.
Yep.
We can throw everything at you from a supplementation perspective that may help fix a little bit. Anyone who's out there saying, here's the pill pack that's going to fix you, please don't waste a penny on it. It's a combination of things done right together that's individual for your circumstance that gets you there. And there are a lot of similarities in the things you're doing and the things that I'm doing, but there are also differences in the things that I'm doing and the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
But the fundamentals are very similar. So we can say with a lot of confidence, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of you struggle at this point. Like the first thing I'm going to say is find the first piece. I don't care what it is. If it's the diet, exercise regimen, you know, like when you came back here at your bottom and we just did walks in the morning. That was it. It was the smallest win on the planet. Now you've gained control of 45 minutes of your day. You're going to get up, you're going to consistently walk, you've got control of that piece of your day, and now you start stacking little bitty wins and you start getting your mind right. So you got to go talk this shit out.
Yeah, you do.
You can't just sit and me sitting and stewing on thinking I have ALS, my wife thinks I'm crazy, it doesn't get out. And so now you're trapping all of this, and that fuels inflammation.
100%.
I mean, it 100%. Fuels.
This the emotional and the mental
powerful
side of it fuel it in the biggest ways. Yes.
So if we can get you to do anything today, come visit us at any point. Shoot us a message, whatever. We're here to help you, any way, shape, or form. If there's something we're doing you can't afford, we're going to find you a path that's free. And I don't care. Like we're our goal's to help you. Period. Don't even have to come to us though. Just go pick something today. Walk. Look up Elimination diet and start the path towards elimination. Look up deep breath work and start committing 6 minutes to deep breath work every day. Read a book on meditation. It seems silly. It's like when I do a rehab movement. I'm used to, it's bodybuilder, man. You go in the gym and you just fucking go. And then I get a rehab and I'm over here going, and I'm like, fuck, what is this? Like, what is this doing? And it's so mentally hard for me because I'm not used to, like, don't be a pussy, go. I mean, I know. This is what I grew up on, man. Like, this was my mentor.
I'm with you, bro. I mean, that's like Spartan mentality. Yeah.
And so now I'm in, I'm serious. I'm like, you see me every day. I'm like laying on a mat. And I just see myself doing this. And I'm like, what the hell has it come to? You know?
Right.
So you have to relinquish a little bit and let the process be the process.
Yes.
And it's not going to be what you want. It's not. There are going to be things you just do and you go, I don't feel like this was revolutionary today, but a little bit of progress was made.
Right.
In the right direction.
Right.
Some of us are crazy, like we go all in. If I think it's going to work, I'm that mental case that goes all in. I'll do it. It's like for elimination. Instead of just slowly eliminating back, I just said, screw it. I'll just do beef and salmon. Go. And then I'll work backwards. I'll start to reintroduce things based on what's happening from a symptom perspective.
Right.
I know that doesn't work for everybody. I used to train people. I mean, I know that doesn't work. Life's hard. There's different things you're doing. If you're sick enough, you're going to do it.
You're going to do it, right?
You're going to do it. Right. The thing is, though, there's a lot of people out there who are not sick or not sick yet.
Not yet. It's coming.
Not sick yet. And so it's a little harder to do. And this will be my last story because I was not sick yet. Lake house out on the lake, had a boat, right pre-kids. Still healthy guy. I like smoking cigars. It's a bad habit. But we would go out every weekend, take the boat out. What do? Friday, Saturday, you drink all day. Smoke cigars all day. And then we started this terrible ritual on the way home. Swing by, grab some Brahms, get some milkshake,
yes,
burger,
sir,
fries.
Yep.
It's a long weekend. We're tired. We're not
deserve it, boy.
Let's get some Brahms. Mm-hmm. And we did that almost all summer. Well, by the end of the summer, when I was tying the boat up and like doing different things, I was getting such bad joint pain out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm in my 30s at this point, and I'm thinking, man, am I getting arthritis already? Painful in my joints. Mm-hmm. We were doing enough damage on the weekends that it was manifesting in pure inflammation. It was in my hands.
Oh, yeah.
It was in my hands. Mm-hmm. And luckily, I was smart enough then to know, like, okay, I'm not an idiot. There's probably a good chance. So what I did, I went on a 5-day fast.
And it went away.
It was 100% gone. And that was our last Brahms trip and, drinking the whole ice chest and all that stuff. But I'm saying all this to say, like, you will take yourself down this path. If you're a high performer, if you've got a lot of stress from a job or your ambitions, if you are in stressful environments, family, if you're a mom with kids.
Well, and another high risk thing people don't think of, because it happened to both of us, is that when you've never had to struggle with bad health, you don't realize how vulnerable you are.
You take it for granted.
You don't. You take it for granted 100%.
You're invincible.
You don't realize that rug can be pulled, and I mean, when it happens like that. And then you're on quicksand all of a sudden. It's just like you can't catch yourself, Yeah, 100%. Like what he just said, I all the bad things. I mean, I had no idea. And really, it's usually that when we were talking about the chronic inflammatory triggers, it's something it's going in your body, whether it's an environmental thing that you're breathing in fume wise, or whether it's, if it's like smoking cigars or smoking cigarettes, if it's junk food, and there's a plethora of that. Food is a central thing usually when we're talking about inflammation. That's why elimination diets work fabulously well. Or if you're just going fast, do a 2 or 3 day fast, and if your symptoms get better, if you have mental clarity, if you're bloating and you're gas and maybe you got a rash, you got eczema, you got inflammation, if anything gets better from a fast, there's a great chance that the root cause of your problem is something you're putting in your mouth. And I would highly suggest, after coming off of that fast, trying an elimination diet. We will suggest a few. But
we'll fast with you. We'll do a fast series.
100%, yeah. But that right there, because when you change the molecules that you're putting in here, I like to compare it to fuel for your car. If you went to a gas station that had full price gas that's 100% clean, you can put it in your car, or you can get some that's half price, but it's got some debris and some trash and some dirty stuff in there. Would you willingly put that into your car? No, you wouldn't. You pay full price to get the clean gas because you don't really want to destroy your car on purpose. Well, but when it comes to our bodies, like the Brahms situation, now it tastes good. There's no question about that. It is pleasant. Every morsel. Yeah. I mean, and I can live.
French fries and the milkshake.
Don't even get me started. I mean, you take me to a buffet, and I mean, I'm going to put them out of business. But my point is when you look at food as fuel instead of what tastes pleasant on this tongue that we have, look at it as fuel. And I'm not saying you have to eat nasty food. I'm just saying, look at the molecules. What are they? What's going in? Because your body has no choice but to use what you give it to rebuild itself, and that's every cell in your body, from immune cell to your eyes and your brain and whatever, your skin cells, everything. And so if you start eating bad food and you do it chronically, you're going to have skin issues. It's not even a question. Yeah. You're going to have hormonal issues. You're going to have a bunch of stuff can happen. You're going to have definitely gut issues eventually. And anyway, it all ties together. But if you can get that first piece in line, it's usually, like I said, getting your nutrition in line. Eliminate what you know is bad. Just start there. That's all I'll say. Start there. Eliminate the bad. Keep what you know is good. And give yourself a break. But I would start with maybe a 2 or 3 day fast.
Yeah, it might be the easiest, because sometimes good and bad's hard to determine. So, I want a good walk away here where you say, like, how do you get in control quick? I'd say body in motion.
Yep.
Get your body in motion. I don't care what it is, man. If you need to go walk up and down your street, that's fine. Right. Walk up and down the street. Get your body in motion. Take your mind out of the chaos. This is for everybody. So if you're really sick, try some of these things so that you start stacking hope. If you're healthy, but you're biohacking or you're looking for, do this as well, because you will actually feel it as a healthy individual as well. Again, especially if you're neck deep in any of the things, usually we're in this growth phase or accumulation phase of our life early on where you're just loaded with stuff, stress, anxiety, all those things that come with getting up, getting over caffeinated, cramming things into your day. Like, just just Western civilization, man. It is pretty unhealthy.
Oh yeah.
It is pretty unhealthy, the rat race that is set up at whatever level you're playing. So 6 minutes, get control of your mind. Any of these, just take any of these, and then I'd love you to come back and comment what you did, how you feel. 6 minutes of mental clarity, meditation. I don't care. You can pick a word. Something that means nothing. And spend 6 minutes of don't even let your mind ting, 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 ting.
Well, and let me interject here just for a second on the whole meditation thing, because that's a lot of people don't know how to do it.
We can do a whole session on it.
But what I was just going to say, one thing you can do that there's 2 different apps you can download that do guided sessions. Essentially, if you don't know what you're doing and you need something talking to you to kind of keep you on track, there's one called Headspace. There's one called Calm, and I'm pretty sure both of them do. Like, there's a free version of those,
they have them on the
and they'll give you a 5-minute,
Yeah.
or what it does, it kind of has training wheels on there just for the first few sessions. You're eventually going to want to take them off and just do it your way. But start with a guided version. You can even YouTube stuff or Spotify. There's a bunch of options. Just find something that's nothing, like start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You might want to graduate up at some point, but yeah, it's a good place. Very good thing.
5 minutes, spend it there, or take 20 minutes to start and go do something active.
Yep.
Just something you enjoy. I'm not saying go get a gym membership. You don't need to go get a gym membership. Just
if you like going for a walk, if you like fishing,
get the blood.
If you like swinging a golf club, whatever. Go do what you enjoy.
Get
outdoors.
Yeah. Get the blood circulating. Get a little vitamin D outdoors. Just take some fresh air in, and then if you really want to try something, if the whole how to balance what's healthy, what's not healthy, what should I eat, what should I not eat, as long as you're medically capable to do it, just don't eat for a day, 2 days, 3 days if you can do it. So the trick for this is the first fast I would tell people to do, honestly. Mondays tend to be a busier day, so it makes life a little easy. Start Sunday. Sunday after lunch, just don't eat. Go to bed Sunday night. And now the only day you have to contend with is Monday. So Monday, you're busy enough to distract yourself. True. Just drink water on Monday, okay? And any electrolytes that you need, not Gatorade. I'm talking like salt, potassium, magnesium, like if you're active. And then go to bed. So for the 36 hours that you're not eating, you're sleeping for 2/3 of that fast. You only have 1 day, and you get the magnitude. Because people will be like, "Oh, I'll just eat until Sunday night, or I'll start first thing Monday morning." Well, now you've got 2 days you got to stack together to get through it. This is kind of the cheat code. It's like just do it. Get a late lunch, then you're good, and then sleep, and then you got a day, and then go to bed early on Monday. Just go to bed at 8 o'clock, and then when you wake up Tuesday morning, you've effectively had at least 36 hours of a fast, okay? And just see how you feel. Just see if...
Take note. Yeah. Like, actually take inventory. Write down how you feel before you start the fast. And then write it down immediately, when you hit 36, 48, 72 hours, however long you're going to do it. Actually take inventory. Look and compare. And I bet, just because I've seen it so many times, that, 99% of people who do it, there's some improvement, whether it's mental, whether it's physical energy, whether it's GI, there's something. And I promise you, if there is something there, there's something there. There's more to that story. And that's where we can throw the exclamation points on here and really give you a full path back to, to return to good health.
So let's leave it there. Those are easy, simple tips. We're in the fight with you. We've been there. We've done this thing. We've got your back. We want you to be well. We want you to be healthy. This is the path.
This is the path. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. And your personal story is going to be your own. It's going to be exactly yours. We're going to share ours in great detail so that you'll know exactly what we went through, and we'll share the mental and the emotional and all of it, because there's a dark side to this thing, and it's not fun. It is not a good place to be. It is the last place you want to be, actually. But for me, it was, now I look at it as a blessing, because what it did was it made me not take health for granted anymore. It's one thing being healthy and taking it for granted. and then losing it and not thinking you're getting it back and then getting it back. Do you think I'm ever going to take this for granted again? No. And now that's, I protect it. It's the most valuable thing to me. And I can be the most effective human that I can be, because, we're at any day of the week, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So,
yeah, you guys got it. You got your tips. Go do them. Comment. We love to comment. We love to build community. Invite people who are struggling, who are not struggling yet, who need to hear the message. We want to speak to as many people as we can. So be well, be healthy. We're glad you're here.
If there's a topic you want us to discuss, put that in the chat as well, because we'd love to get some topic discussions from you guys.
Yeah, we'll cover a ton.